Today, we're diving deep into the Restoration Shaman in the WoW Within Season 1. This guide will help you maximize your healing, whether you're playing in Raids or Mythic Plus. We'll talk about strengths, weaknesses, new changes, stat priorities, and most importantly, how you're going to improve your own gameplay. So stick around till the end to find out all there is to know in this guide. So, let's start off by answering the most important question. Is a Resto Shaman viable in Season 1? And the answer is yes, they are, most definitely. With their unique cooldowns and the tuning numbers right now suggests that we're probably going to be among the stronger healers, at least at the start of the season. Also, some new things is that we received a new buff called Skyfury that gives our party some mastery and gives Wind Fury to all of our melees. So, with us already knowing that shamans are viable, what makes them good? Well, Resto Shamans are like a Swiss Army knife. We have tools for pretty much everything that you can come across in the Mythic Plus and raiding environment. More so in Mythic Plus though. We got Poison Cleansing Totem, we got Purge, we got the spells, we got all the things that you need to be a good healer and an appreciated member of every team. But we're gonna just quickly go through some bullet points of strength and then some of the weaknesses for the shaman. So, shamans are really good at stacked up group healing. Well, like I said, carrying a lot of utility, purge, the shortest kick cooldown in the game, we got Bloodlust, we got Spirit Link Totem, we got all of these things. And then we also got some incredible utility spells like Spirit Walker's Grace. And some of the weaknesses for the shaman is that we lack burst healing when it's necessary and when the group is spread out. We also lack immunity like a Divine Shield or even a tank external like Iron Bark of the Druids or Pain Suppression from the Priests. And many of our most powerful healing tools are tied to high mana costs and or long cast times, which become a problem during extended fights and poor pre-planning. The stat priority for the Resto Shaman is pretty straightforward. You always go item level first, followed by Versatility and Critical Strike, and after that you can go for Haste and Mastery. Looking at talent choices, there's actually a pretty unique situation for the Resto Shamans. We got two hero talents, we got Farseer and Totemic, which both are viable for us, so we'll start off by discussing those. Farseer is a little bit more mana friendly, but it's more APM intensive, which means that you need to cast more spells to keep all of your plates rolling. For example, you need to hard cast Healing Rain, and you're gonna get a lot of Riptide stacks, which means that you're gonna be casting a lot more, got less GCDs open for damage or other things. And then there's Totemic, that's a little bit less mana friendly, which means that you run a higher chance of running but it frees up a lot of your GCD since Searching Totem is actually giving us instant cast Healing Rain. So we can have more globals to use on kicks, damage, other utility things. And I'm probably gonna start off with Totemic, even though I enjoy both playstyles. I think they're pretty cool. And with the other talents, this is what a Totemic build could look like. Of course, there's some notes here that you can change around for yourself. For example, I'm running without Master of the Elements and prefer to run with Mana Tide Totem instead. I'm also skipping Overflowing Shores since it's more of a raid talent. You'll get this one when you're going into Anubar Palace. I'm also skipping out on Primordial Wave. I tried this for the first couple of weeks, but it just doesn't feel good. It feels like it's a wasted GCD since it's tuned in a way that it doesn't feel as impactful as it did in, for example, Dragonflight Season 3 or Season 2. I'm also running Ancestral Protection Totem instead of the Earthen Wall Totem because, you know, at the start of the season people are gonna be trying things out. We might actually be able to use this in a good way to onk people where they might fail in the first couple of dungeons. I'm also choosing at the start here to run with Living Stream and the Healing Stream Totem playstyle before while I'm learning the dungeons and the damage patterns. After that I'm probably gonna go into the Cloudburst playstyle that I actually prefer, since it adds a lot of depth to the class and a lot of pre-planning and proactive healing. Other than that, you know, you got your deeply rooted elements that procs your ascendance. We got our High Tide. I actually started playing with this week, 2 days before the season starts, and I actually enjoy the added group healing of it, and which means you're also gonna go Tidebringer, and Downpour is a good added button to our Searching Totem. And in the class tree, we got a lot of options to go for here. Of course, I'm gonna use Windrush Totem to help out our movement. You know, for my build specifically, I like to play with a lot of control and help my group out with stops and kicks and whatnot. So that's why I'm running both the Cap Totem with the double stun. I'm also running the Thunderstorm with the knock-up effect in Thunder Shock. But as the affixes go along, I'm probably gonna use Poison Cleansing Totem, let's say for about Salataf's Bargain Devour, which is the new afflicted affix basically. The Poison Cleansing Totem is gonna come in really clutch. If I'm playing in a group without any hard CC, I might go into Hex. If we're in dungeons that needs Fear, I'm gonna spec Tremor Totem, I'm gonna go Purge if needed. If I need an extra defensive cooldown, I'm gonna go Earth Elemental. And you know, if we need roots, I'm gonna go Earth Grab Totem. So there's a couple of nodes here that you can swap around. For example, Stone Bulwark, you can change out the extra node of Call of the Elements. You can also swap out, for example, the Curse Removal. If you play with a group that has a lot of stops, you might not need Cap Totem, so you can just switch these points around. So about the Shaman playstyle, we got some spells to talk about here. For example, we got the Riptide, which is our main hot that we put. Riptide also gives us the buff that we need to keep a track of to get our healings to cast a little bit faster. So if I cast Riptide on myself here, you see we get Tidal Waves, which increases the cast time of our Chain Heal or Healing Wave, and it increases the effectiveness of all of them. So don't sit on your Riptide stacks, but make sure that you're also not overcapping your Tidal Waves charges. Other than that, we got, since I'm playing Totemic, we got our Surging Totem here that we're throwing down. This is gonna free us up to use a lot more spells. We also got Earth Shield that we keep on ourselves in the tank. We got Water Shield that helps us get some mana back. And you know, since I'm playing Totemic, I'm also going with my Healing Stream Totem. I'm gonna get 2 charges of these, make sure they're not overcapped at any times. But they're also gonna be casting Chain Heals for me, which is gonna be a really good passive healing style. Also make sure to keep Earth Living Weapon up on your weapon at all times. It's gonna help you out with an extra hot on the players. And other than that, you know, you just make sure to work around your Tidal Wave stacks. Depending on what your group needs, you cast either a Healing Wave, Healing Surge, or a Chain Heal. Make sure to move your totems around using Totemic Projection. This is a really big help for you, since Searching Totem now is 20-second cooldown. Just drop your Searching Totem. Let's say, for example, I'm dropping it here. We're standing here, the tank moves the mobs, then I'm just going to move my Searching Totem to the new tank position. Therefore, we're not losing any uptime or either healing or the Acid Rain, which is the damage coming from our Healing Rain and Searching Totem. Other than this, you know, you got your cooldowns. So we got our, let's go back, we got our Healing Tide Totem, which is basically a totem that's smart heals all over the place. This is really good if you feel like you don't want to heal as much, or you just want to help the group deal damage. You just pop down a healing tide and then you do damage. Also, you can combine this with Ancestral Guidance to get even more kind of a burst healing profile. We can also use Spirit Link Totem when we see that either our tank or someone else is in great danger, or the whole group just needs stabilizing. Just use Spirit Link, and as you can see here, it summons a totem at the target's location for 6 seconds, which reduces damage taken by all party and raid members by 15%. Immediately and every 1 second, the health of all affected players is redistributed evenly, which is a really, really powerful cooldown. We got Unleash Life, we can use on different types of spells. We can use on our Healing Wave, Riptide, or Healing Surge for 35% increase, Chain Heal for 15% increased healing and bounces 1 additional time. Downpour, it heals 2 additional targets, and Wellspring, who uses Wellspring anyway? Quick thing before we go back about that, you can, if you feel like it's too many cooldowns using Unleash Life, you can also choose Undulation for a more less keybind intensive setup. It's basically no difference whatsoever. Back here then, Mana Tide Totem, granting ourselves mana regen within for 8 seconds, which is great. You also make sure to use this smart, you know, don't just drop it down when you're out of mana completely. You know, you need to plan this out so you can pop it when you're doing a damage phase or something like that, so get much mana back before we go into the next healing streak. And then we got Ascendance that duplicates our spells for 70% effectiveness for 18 seconds. This is also really good to pair up with the major damage spikes and, you know, your different type of healing amps, like get your healing streams down, get your AG up, combine that with Ascendance, and then you're just gonna be pumping healing like never before. We got our utility stuff, so we got our Cap Totem, we got Bloodlust, that's, everybody knows what Bloodlust does. We got Earthbind Totem, Earth Shield, Lava Burst, Nature Swiftness, great while you're on the move. Just pop this and you'll get an instant cast off really fast. Wind Rush, which gives us some increased move speed. So we're covered the basic do's and you know, things to keep an eye out on as a Resto Shaman. So we'll head into the main things that I think you can bring into the War Within Season 1 to improve as a healer, no matter if you're playing a Shaman as a main or Shaman as an alt, or just playing a healer in general. So first thing you need to do to improve as a healer in a Resto Shaman is to understand the basics of healing. Understand that your job is to keep the group alive and making the life easier for the DPS and the tanks, whether that's speed buffs, dispels, doing mechanics in the dungeons, taking responsibility, making sure that they can perform their jobs at 100%. You're the guy who supports them and makes sure that the whole run or raid is basically getting carried, because if you weren't there, it would be impossible to complete it. Damage as a healer is of course important, but I would stress you to start off by making sure to master the dungeon's damage profiles and knowing when to heal and not to heal. So second thing is managing mana. Another key area to improve is your mana management. As a shaman or any healer, you have many powerful heals, but they come at a high mana cost. The key here is to not overheal. You know, learn how in a approximate amount how much your heals heal for, and then based on the situation you make sure that you use the right spell at the right time. Every healer is gonna run out of mana, and I need to stress this enough. Use your cooldowns. Like, I remember I used to think it was cool not casting Healing Tide for an entire Mythic Plus and just healing like a madman, while in reality it's really bad. You know, use your cooldowns, they're there to help you. Make sure that make sure to use them when you need to profess them, but also, you know, plan out your dungeons, so you know that if I'm gonna use Spirit Link on minute 3, 6 and 9, or 3, 8 and 12 for example, that means I can't use my Spirit Link so that it doesn't line up with minute 8 or minute 12, so you need to sort of plan this out as the season goes along. And also, if you come to the area when you're gonna run out of mana, make sure that you're not just sitting your ass down and drinking wherever you are. Make sure to position yourself so that the tank can pull the next group of mobs while you're drinking. And the next thing is to use your entire toolkit. Make sure that when you're doing these dungeons for the first couple of times, especially in Mythic 0 and above, where the mechanics might be even more punishing, make sure to learn where you can use your wind shear as your kick, where you can use your perch, where you can use your tremor totem, your cap totem, all of these things, you know. Experiment, see where can I use my utility, and then just execute when you're getting in there in the Mythic Plus dungeons. Use it, use it, use it. I can't stress it enough. We're here to help our team, so we need to use all the toolkits that we have to make the teams run a lot easier. And the fifth and final one is to accept that you're gonna screw up at times. Every healer, every DPS player, every tank screws up from time to time. It's fine. I get that, you know, being a healer is exposed position. You're the only one of your role in your group. There's nobody else to quote unquote blame. But who cares, you know? Make sure to accept that mistakes will happen, and make sure that every time you make a mistake that you can analyze it and see where can I do better, because the more small mistakes you can eliminate, the more fun it's going to be as a healer, and the better confidence you're going to get, and the more friends you're going to make. Good things to do this, I recommend you recording yourself, or maybe just looking at Warcraft logs. Do whatever suits you and your playstyle, but don't go into a dungeon expecting to just crush it and never make a mistake. Stuff is gonna happen. For example, you're gonna kick the wrong ability to let some damage through. You're gonna miss a spell. You're gonna pop a cooldown when you're not supposed to. It happens. It's fine. You know, just remember that you need to learn from it and become better the next time. So, in a quick summary, I personally think that Restoration Shaman is a great class to play and has good potential for Mythic Plus and raiding content in Season 1. Even though it's, if you look at the tier list, it's a easier healer and better for starting up your healing journey, it still has some depth to it if you play with Cloudburst and some more proactive elements that the class can offer if you choose to talent into it, as well as learning where to maximize all of your utility and things like this. Definitely my favorite healer, and I hope it can be yours as well. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this guide, please leave a like and subscribe for more tips and tricks, and I'm also going to be posting some Mythic Plus runs from Season 1 here on my Shaman. I'm aiming to get 2,500 rating in probably the first 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see how I do with that, but until the next one, guys, take care and see ya.